overcomplicate this shit. You know what I'm
It's good. Let's go get drinking water.
Alright, let's get this one.
Drinking water.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Talking That Talk official podcast. I go by the name of King Exodus Nasu, aka X.
What's going on, world? It's your boy Juice, aka No Ordinary Brother, aka Rising Pharaoh, aka Books. Alright.
Starting off, I want to give a quick shout out and thank y'all to everybody that's been rocking with us since day one. We got a couple of new people that's been, supporting the channel. Thank y'all for taking our time to watch us talk. You know what I'm saying? That means a lot. Continue to subscribe and help the platform grow. You know what I'm saying? We got bills and things. You know what I'm saying? So, introducing the topic today. It came to me just, kind of observing a lot of adults and how they move. And everybody claim they want to be successful, whether it's monetary, relationship-wise, parenting, whatever. But I notice there's two things that hold a lot of people back.
Talk to them.
Ego and stubbornness.
Mm-hmm.
And all the stubborn people that I know, including myself sometimes, we will openly admit, you know how I am. I'm stubborn. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times the stubbornness holds us back because it's a lot of situations that we can avoid. It's a lot of situations that you can easily overcome, but the stubbornness can hold you back and have you like in a position to where you can't apologize, you can't admit where you're wrong, or you just flat out refuse to fix certain situations that are repairable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. It's kind of like damn near like insanity. You know what I'm saying? How people can do the same thing over and over again but expect different results. Stubbornness will stop you from getting to your key points in life. So the other one was the ego. Those two kind of work hand in hand, but the ego is separate because the ego just don't allow people to grow. You know what I'm saying? You can learn more knowledge and information, you can make more money, you can network, but people's ego tells them, I got it all. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got a network, I don't have to learn new information, I know enough. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of people like that. I was trying to tell someone that I know, I was like, man, you should check out Kevin Samuels. He's a pretty cool guy. He deep on a lot of stuff. I don't agree with everything he says, but I agree with the majority of the things he says. And the person was like, man, I ain't trying to hear nobody talk about relationships and all this stuff. I'm like, I'm the kind of person, even if I disagree with information, I still give it a listening ear because that's keys to scholarship. You never really know where you stand until you explore the opposition. And then you find yourself in the middle. Then you can even learn why you don't agree with something even more, and you'll be more educated on both, not just what you agree with. So those are, my examples of the ego with knowledge and information. I ain't gonna get too long-winded on the topic. I would just say, just share, any experiences that you personally may have with ego and stubbornness, and then maybe give an example of both situations stopping somebody from getting to the next level.
I can give you an example for today. I was talking to a young lady earlier today, and excuse me, I've been sleeping all day, y'all. I believe in at least one day a week. Let your body rest until it can't rest no more. I didn't wake up till like 3 o'clock in the evening. So, message this young lady, right? I'm like, hey, what's going on? How are you? She's like, I just woke up out of a coma. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know if she'd be playful or not. But, I kind of said, well, how was the rest, So I didn't get enough of it. I said, oh, okay, cool. I was like, hey, you start getting massages and using Epsom salt, like I've been telling you. She's like, no, I'm very much more concerned with my mental than my body. And it hit me. I was like, you do know your mental is connected to your body, right? I was like, what you feel mentally can also affect your body. What you feel your body will affect your mental. And quickly, this person said, I know I studied medical school for 4 years, but y'all, bro, she's not even in anything, she's not even in a medical position. So I'm like, all right, man. So it's times like that when I realize it's no need for me to continue talking to this person about certain things anymore. Because if you know it and you do the opposite, that just tells me you really don't know it. Because otherwise, you're going to put into actions of what you have already been teaching yourself, what you learned. Because honestly, it doesn't make no sense to me. Like when I see people do stuff like that, like I said, we call it the know-it-all factor. Like I said, I just wipe my hands clean with it. I just don't deal with it no more. And I realized this has been going on for quite some time. You know, and then I asked her, she was like, she's in a mental stage where she doesn't know what's going on. I said, okay, so you mentioned your mental again. So what's going on this time? Because I asked her, she said something was going on with her like two days ago. She said the question I asked would have been valid at that point, but now it's not. Yes, she mentioned her mental again in this stage. So I said, okay, so what's going on now if it wasn't valid before? And she was just saying, well, I was just letting you know my mental is before a bath and a massage any day. I was like, but you're saying you're not sleeping. You know what I'm saying? It's just like common sense for me. And logically, like saying, if your body's not at rest, your mental's not going to be at rest or at peace. Things, like I said, it's connected and intertwined to where I feel like, you know, once it happens and, you know, I don't want nothing to do with you. Like, I just told her, hey, look, hey, I see what's going on. There's a lot I can say, but hey, have a good day. Whatever you're going through, much love to you. I just wipe my hands clean with it. I just don't want to deal with it anymore. Because that's very much stubbornness. That's stubbornness and ego to the point where it's you can bait somebody into that, and if they don't deal with it, then they're considered weak. And I think that's gonna be another topic I'm gonna have to jump on is. Are you truly weak because you don't want to change, or a person doesn't want to put up with what you have? You know, and it's getting to that point. I see men and women talk on a higher basis, and they would be like, well, yeah, you know, if a person can't put up with this and that, you know, I know they're weak. And I'd be like, you know, it's harder to change than it is to stay the same, right? I was like, so who's really weaker? And people would still feel as if they're empowered. That's why one of the main things that Kevin Samuels would say, shout out to him, he was like, hey, the sexual marketplace doesn't lie. And people be putting themselves way higher than what they really are. And like I said, like the stubborn eagerness is all around women and men. I had a homeboy one time, we was talking about something. I said, hey bro, like what happened with you trying to look for that other position? He was like, man, the homeboy told me about it, and you know, he said he didn't make no money. So I didn't see no point into doing that. I said, hold on, man. So you mean to tell me another person's going to stop you from making money because his experience wasn't as good as you would want it to be for you to try it out? And it's like, those comparisons like there is like terrible. I'm not going to ever let nobody stop me from opportunities. That's why even in the car when I was driving here to do the podcast, I was like, man, you got to take a swing you know, you got to take a risk. You're either going to hit or miss, but you never know what can happen. So that's something I want to definitely put in effect is when it comes to eagerness and stubbornness, you're only going to get as far as you can through execution or bullshitting. Like even more so, I had took the time out. I started putting myself back on practices since I started doing this detox. And I started looking at life as I did as I once was younger. Like the more I read, the more lectures I listened to, audios, it's plain and clear to see like, yo, you are where you are through execution or bullshit. So when you hit 40 and shit, you'll be like, damn, I did something. Like, damn, I was really bullshit. That's gonna be a talking right there. Are you executing or you bullshitting?
Yeah. One of the biggest things I noticed with stubbornness, it never really connects with criticism. Constructive criticism is the most powerful tool that anybody can use. A lot of times the words seem harsh, but the only way you can grow is through pain. You can go to the gym and work out, and you know you can do a little bit, and then you see people over there, you know, playing with weights and shit.
Right.
And then you see people in there busting out of sweat. You can see the pain on their face. Those are the people that are honestly seeking growth. Because
walk around with gallon jugs.
You know what I'm saying? And then I say the biggest thing in fitness, you never really know how imbalanced you are until you actually begin to work out. Because then you see certain things grow faster than others.
Definitely.
And then you begin to think, okay, how can I be a complete package? So then you begin looking at every muscle group, the the major muscles, the secondary muscles, and then you have to work all of these muscles at different angles in order to accomplish that perfection. You know what I'm saying? So that's a painful experience. You know what I'm saying? It's just like training shoulders. You know, a lot of people do the basics. Then you have some people that's like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna work my front of the muscle, the head, the rear delt. They'll have a complete package with their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So taking that back to constructive criticism, a lot of people can't look in the mirror in their real life. A lot of people can't see their flaws. A lot of people won't even accept their flaws. And it's like if you don't have people in your circle that get on your ass and damn near piss you off with constructive criticism, you don't even have a circle. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
Nipsey was like, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's not a circle, that's a cage. You know what I'm saying? You have to take those painful steps within growth. Hear the things you don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? It's just like even with the podcast, you know what I'm saying? If someone criticizes anything, the wardrobes, the camera angles, the whatever, the quality or whatever,
Right.
that's nothing you should be sensitive to, because those are the things that's going to help you grow. If you always have people that's telling you what you want to hear, you will never grow in life. And that goes back to networking. You only as strong as the weakest person that you connect with within your circle. You know what I'm saying? So everybody around me is going to hear my mouth. And I expect to hear their mouth as well. And that's just how I am. If you fucking up or you half-assing on something, I'm on your ass. Not because I'm breaking you down, but because I want you to be the best version of yourself, just like I'm trying to be the best version of myself. Sometimes I ask people, hey, what do you see wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? I don't really have a lot of people around me. I don't like praise. I'm like, tell me what you think is wrong with me. What can I do better? That's the kind of questions I ask. Don't tell me what I did right, or, you know what I'm saying? Don't do that all the time. Tell me the things, the flaws that you see in front of you. And I'm going to take that same shit to the mirror myself. So with personal development and growing, stubbornness never connects with that, because people really become complacent with their flaws. That's even like in relationships. A lot of shit is repairable, but people's ego and stubbornness prevents them from just having open communication. That shit stops people. It's easier to just leave situations alone than to look in the mirror completely. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people be like, well, I don't like confrontation. No, you're scared of the truth and criticism. It's not the confrontation that you fear. You fear the dialogue between you and another person that's going to be 100% honest with you about you. So that will be my last point on stubbornness. Now, going back to the ego, I admire people like Denzel, somebody that reached the pinnacles of their career but still take acting classes. I admire someone like Kobe. The man took ballet. He practiced crazy hours during the day. His whole mission was, how do I become a better basketball player? If I'm good with my right, I'm finna learn how to shoot with my left because I injured my right hand. If I'm good at shooting from the right side of the basket, next time I'm gonna practice shooting from the left side of the basket. Like, and then he even had these moments where he was like, he'll just call people that was ahead of him at random hours and just pick their brain. You know what I'm saying? The man said he watched basketball games when he was a kid from beginning to end, the entire game, replaying it, stopping it, pausing it, the whole nine. That takes time and dedication. And then you have people with the ego like Allen Iverson. It's like, practice. What's practice? You know what I'm saying? Two completely different egos. You know what I'm saying? It's not to say who succeeded the other, because some people will say Iverson, some people will say Kobe, but for the more cerebral people in the world, we would admire Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Jordan. Jordan would die before he say he never considered that he lost a basketball game. He just ran out of time.
That's some deep shit to me.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, all these people have great philosophies. Muhammad Ali, he said he was doing his crunches in training. He don't count until it starts to burn, because that's where you get the real progress. It's when the pain comes with the workout. So you got all these people, man, that really should be egotistical. They have every credential to have an ego, but they the most humble people, and that's what makes them surpass everybody else in their craft. is because they don't bring their ego to their craft. They let their craft speak for itself. And then that creates an ego because now that's a positive ego because you're letting your work speak for you. You ain't got to put your words on it. You're letting your work speak. So I would say with the ego shit, let's take it somewhere else. Let's take it to parenting. What's some bad egos you can experience with parenting? Like,
No, before I start that, there's a message actually I woke up and wrote on IG. It said, I love men and women I'm around who don't mind calling you out to make sure you do what you said you were going to do. If you feel by saying things you are going to do and never do it, give an excuse to why you can't, please understand that's probably how far you're going to go in your life. It's jobs, entrepreneurship, relationships, opportunities, parenting, and so forth. You only get as far as you can in life through executing or bullshitting. And that was just like something I was hanging on to while he was speaking. But that really is like, it's when you give people direct criticism or something of that nature and they turn their head, turn their cheek, that's as far as that person's gonna go. Not too long ago, I like to call some of our meetings I have with some people a zoo, right? So this is why it's a zoo, because everybody in that within that meeting, we all on each other's asses, like. So it can get professional and it can get very vulgar. Like, you know what I'm saying? You piece of shit, motherfucker. But we all understand it's business at the end of the day, right? So I give one of the examples I had with one of my cousins, right? He came out of corporate America. And there was something, one of the tasks I was supposed to accomplish at the time. And I tried to do it on a different level, right? He's the inside, I'm on the outside. And I was like, hey man, I got it from here on my side when it comes to marketing. And he got so mad at me, he was just like, yo, what makes you think at your level in time, when I've been in corporate America for at least 15 years, at least on the inside, you knew exactly what to do already? And I was like, because I've been executing this on the outside, I've been getting results. He said, that's the outside. He said, decline the position I have to. You have to dominate every position you can think of. And it humbled me to a point like, damn, I was really fucking stubborn. Like he was teaching me, and I was like, man, I don't try to hear that shit. I read this book, I read this. Like, this is where books and watching fucking YouTube shows can only get you so far until you meet somebody who's professionally in that field. And they will chew your ass out. Because it don't matter what the fuck you read if you ain't never did the work. Like, imagine walking to a place where it's like, yeah, I read the book, you're supposed to do this and that. Okay, go ahead. And now you got all eyes on you because you open your fucking mouth. Then you're like, shit. Yeah, I mean, I read it somewhere.
Y'all want me to do this now?
No, that's, what I'm saying. That's why I said. So our meetings, we go after each other's necks. It could be all four of us agreeing, three on one, two on twos, three, like. But it's all about making sure we understand what's going on. That's why I always tell Mark, even myself, I look for people who's better than me. And then I mention this all the time as well. I live by the law of 33%. You want to spend 33% of your time with people who are beneath you. You want to spend 33% of the time with people who are equal to you. And you want to spend 33% of your time with people who are better than you. So that's how you grow, elevate even more. Because you can still learn from every class, right? You might be with people that's beneath you. You're like, man, that motherfucker's deep. and now you just inspire somebody to do more. And then when people want to equal class as you, it's how can you say, it's therapeutic. Because you're like, damn, we're all on the same shit. And then it comes that humbleness to be a student when you talk to people who are above you, to get to that pinnacle, to where people are now looking at you on that same level. So when it comes to parenting, to get back on that subject right now, I see a lot of stubbornness when it comes to education. Put it like this, it's more so, hey, I said in school, everything's relying on the system. I said, fuck that, I'm not doing that with my kids. I'm not relying on everything on the system. That's just me, right? Another part of arrogance could be and sports related when it comes to parenting, right? Let's be honest, man. We know some of our kids suck. But we want to make sure our kids get some of the the shine time, the playing time, the ability. But you hassling the coach, but you're not doing anything to improve their abilities. And that's what that's what I don't like. That's why some of these memes, they used to be like, it's a mom. She got the body. You know what I'm saying? But her kids suck, and she comes to you saying, "Hey, I need my son to play as a man. What are you gonna do?" I don't care how good that woman looks. He gonna get about 1 minute or 2 minute, couple plays in, and that's about it. Because our goal is to keep bettering ourselves to get to the next level. Not to say that by not putting them in the game, he can't improve. At the same time, it's everybody has to be involved. That's the thing with parenting. Everybody has to be involved, not just one person. It has to be everybody. Where it goes. Not just mom and dad. That's parenting. Let's also look at the relatives that get involved. Also, their brothers and sisters. I remember at one time when my brother was out and he had to pitch before a game. I used to get down and squat, and he would throw the ball to me, and I'd be in the catcher's position. Everywhere is all helping each other improve each other's positions. Everybody participates on that level. So when you rely everything on other people and not just you, then it's going to be the reason why people exceed and why people just stay at the level they're at. That's what parenting is all about. That's why people be like, man, I wish my kids was like that. I guarantee those adults put time and energy behind their kids. Whether they putting them in different lessons, different AP classes, or they're paying for outside tutoring. They're doing everything above and beyond to make sure their kids are excelling. And when your kids are excelling, then you see the results. Other than that, people just be like, all right, well, that's good enough. So, what about you? Do you have a parenting example?
I'm gonna just talk some shit. The stubbornness with parenting is like, it bothers me when I hear parents say, well, I was raised this way, so that's how I'm gonna raise my kid. Or, my mama did this, my grandma did this, so I'm gonna do the same thing. That's stubbornness. Because instead of creating your own path or your own direction of parenting, following what was already done is clinging on to the same actions and the same patterns, right? So when people say that and be like, well, my mama did this, my grandpa or whatever did this, I'm like, okay, how successful were they? Right? Because if you're going to follow somebody else's parenting style that you received, how successful are you? Did it work for you? Because you still got some flaws and failures that I see right before me. So it seems the need that you might want to take a different approach. And it bothers me that parents don't read books on parenting.
Man, say that again. Say that again, man. Say that again.
Touch the mic.
God damn it,
Get
man.
my superpowers, man.
Get superpowers. Say that again.
It bothers me that parents don't read books on parenting.
Oh,
Weird shit, right?
weird shit.
Maybe that's ego, but maybe that's stubbornness because there is a cutoff of growth. Some people be like, well, a motherfucker in a book can't tell me how to raise my kid. That's a fucking book. Are you listening to what you just said? I'm not saying how else could you learn how to parent, but to be that stubborn, that's like a mechanic saying, look, I learned how to work on cars from watching people and hands-on. I ain't got to read no book. I ain't got to go to school. I know what I'm doing. You goddamn idiot. You can improve your craft 10 times better by getting a certification and a correct education. And to think that somebody can't teach you something within a course style of learning, books, etc., you are a goddamn idiot. And this happens time and time again. So when you are raising another individual, you should learn as much information as you can, not just through physical people, like direct dialogue conversations, or through your own observation. Pick up a fucking book. Maybe you can learn something that you can add into the mix. And then another thing I don't like is some people want to parent their kids how they want to parent their kids, and they're not parenting their kids based on how they should by observing their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, your kid may need a little bit of more vocal teaching than physical abuse. But since you taught, hey, you mess up, I'm whooping ass, your kid may be showing you, hey, these ass whoopings really not working. You could even hear some kids sometimes, oh, what you gonna do? You gonna whoop me? Go ahead, come on, let's get it over with. The ass whooping's not working. Some people talk too much and may need to incorporate some other kind of approaches to their children. The same way you was raised, you can't necessarily raise your kid that way because they are entirely different human beings. So you have to observe your child and make different approaches and adjustments based on your child. It's this show I love, All American. You know what I'm saying? Where one of the fathers in the show, a lot of people would say, you know what I'm saying, he's not aggressive enough with his kids or whatever the case is because he actually has conversations with them. One time his daughter relapsed, she got back on drugs, and his approach was aggressive because he was concerned, he was worried. So he was aggressive towards her, threatening to put her back in rehab. So she broke down and she ran away. And within the process of running away, a female told him, hey, I understand you love your daughter. I understand you're passionate and I understand you're concerned about her. But maybe you need to show a little bit more love and concern for her, and maybe that'll reach her better than your direct aggressiveness. So he tried it. He left a voicemail on her phone. And instead of being aggressive, like, you know, you need to get your ass home now, I'm not playing, you know, he left a voicemail and he was like, baby girl, look, I understand you're going through a lot, blah, blah, blah. Look, we all concerned about you, we love you, and I just want you to know that I'm concerned and I love you and I care about you, and we just want you to come home. She broke down, cried, and then she went home. You know what I'm saying? You can't handle every situation the way your emotions and impulses just take you. You have to, once again, direct your approach based on your child. And a lot of people don't observe their children, which is stubbornness. I couldn't really connect ego with that outside the fact that you have plenty ways to become a better parent, and some people just would not open up a book or take no kind of criticism for other people. A lot of people be like, hey,
learn from other parents. That's other adults, man. That's why the piggyback off of what he's saying. That's effective leadership too, right? Anybody who runs a company or is a leader, they understand you cannot give the same message to the same individual, right? I know some people I can be hard on. It gives the jolt, right? You know what I'm saying? It gets the battery pack moving. Versus people I might have to be a little bit more, you know, touchy and feely and stuff of that nature in order to make them understand, right? The psychology between touching somebody between the elbow and the forearm to get them to agree and negotiate with things, right? It's like dopamine, like just hit somebody in the arm, like, hey, look, you know, you can do better, right? So, you know, I look at that even on, and I did it in business meetings, I did it through coaching, through talking to people, always just hitting them between right here while I'm talking to them, and they'll smile and be like, all right, you know, yeah, I can do better. Like I said, it's different approaches to all of this. That's why you gotta remember, ego and stubbornness is gonna kill your lifestyle, man. And you just gotta pay attention to it. That's why, as a person who always wants to grow, my go-to person is my cousin. My go-to person is X right here. You just want to make sure you're improving in ways that are effective. And like, you know, LinkedIn and stuff, man. I'm talking to people on fucking LinkedIn that you know have the credibility sources as I read their material. I'm just like, hey, look, if I can take you out to lunch or something, like, you know, let me get a conversation going with them. I want to learn to people who have those types of background, those achievements. I'm an achiever. That's definitely one of my strengths. So in order for me to achieve, I like to learn from other achievers on how to better myself as an individual and as a person. That's the only way I can become bigger and more impactful when addressing any situations and opportunities. Because the person who doesn't grow is gonna in an everyday lifestyle if it's not there, right? You know, imagine a person who it happens in your life right now. You got people right now like, man, I could have been something, but you know what? I didn't want to listen. Man, I could have had that job, but you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to go to the classes. I was like, yo, you know, it's there 24/7.
Some people like I didn't even want to go to I didn't go to the interview. Yeah, 18 other people got the job and went to the interview.
Yeah,
you the only one didn't go.
But look, man, I know I wasn't gonna get it, so I didn't go. I was like, bro, who be telling y'all this shit, man? Hey, that's why you gotta swing sometimes. Swing the bat. All you gotta do is swing the bat. You never know what's gonna happen. That's why this detox has been helping me out a lot. On a lot of bases, I'm growing, you know, and just kind of separating myself again and getting myself back out there into the field. Like I miss listening to the audiobook by 50 Cent, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter.
Classic.
Man, it hit me like, yo, I've been moving slow. I'm not used to moving this fucking slow, right? Every day I got like 2 or 3 things to do besides working. And re-listening to that is one of the main things. So let me tell you why I reconnected with that book, right? Me and X always talk about our past and whatnot, but it's something about talking in a manner that's streetwise and corporate wise helps a person understand, okay, there's really no difference. You just wanted to hear it again. And it's really no difference. You just want to hear it again. Like,
you got to see that parallel.
You got to see that parallel. That's why when people be like, nah, man, you just don't see it. It's literally damn near the same. It's just different things. We all understand it, you know, legal and illegal or whatever you want to call it. But it's when you hear it again, it's like, yo, all right, let's get back to work. Let's get back to moving. You know, I got excited again. I said, you know, I ain't booked meetings. It used to be at a point in time when I was so heavy involved with appointments, man. On the first week of the month, I would have appointments set up for the whole fucking month, right? And it's like, damn, I miss doing that type of shit. So, you know, it got me back excited just rehearing that how he related his life to the moves he made. And I was like, yo, this dude was a genius from jump. He just talked about in Houston. That he'll be doing things through paid internships, and he said the best way I ever learned was through internships for free. He said that's what really got me far. He said people want to get paid for internships and they miss out on the opportunity just by being around it. Like, people don't understand, people that are internships can most likely get the job, but if they gotta pay you, they might just have you there for a little bit and kick you to the curb. I know a lot of college students that did that. They was just there, they got paid, and all right, good luck. And then there's people who didn't accept no pay, end up getting hired. Because it's a difference. There's a lot of difference between working for free and still putting in those hours as if you was getting paid versus getting paid and then, you know, getting the job. Like, people want to see what you're made of, you know, how thick your skin is if you're not getting paid. That's why entrepreneurs always talk about there's times they get paid for months at a time, but they kept doing the necessary discipline until their business all of a sudden started to increase.
Man, take me there. Rick Ross said some real shit. He was like, I made songs, I wrote songs, and I didn't start making real money until after 12 years of being in the game. And he was like, a lot of people think this shit is overnight. They really don't see the progress step by step, year through year, until you finally reach that point where you're just not getting the correct exposure or the correct compensation. A lot of people don't see a lot of the free opportunities, I like to call them, that people, you know what I'm saying, they actually indulge in before they blow up. We just want to skip to the point where you blow up. But we don't want to put in that 10-year grind just to get to step 8. We don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like, but I would like to take it to a point to where I can give you an example. Within my personal life, I felt like I had a pretty good, you know, train of thought, pretty good personality. But for the longest, I was very quiet. To where some people could probably be like, that dude podcasting? I never heard him talk. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like I reached a point in my life to where books like Think and Grow Rich, those kind of things molded me into having more of a sense of networking and personality and being open about it. I even listened to an audiobook about the art of body languages. And because I had a little insecurities of being in large group settings and engaging in direct conversation. So it's just certain things simple by the way you stand by a group of people and position your feet. If you position your feet and your body is directed towards the group already has more of an open ear to what you possibly can bring vocally in your energy just by how you position your body and your feet facing the group. You know what I'm saying? It's little things that people don't put into their skill set. You know what I'm saying? So just having a voice or having good things to say, you still have to have the correct body language to match your message. You know what I'm saying? You have people that are great speakers and people that talk good. Two different things.
Two different.
A great speaker has the charisma down pat to where emotionally you feel every word they saying. You know what I'm saying? To where even they could be so great at the charisma and body language that what they saying could be complete trash. But that's gonna be some good trash to you. You're gonna feel every word of that trash.
Trash gonna taste
You know
like
what I'm saying?
5-star gourmet food.
You thinking about lobster, filet mignon, and you got fucking McDonald's.
McDonald's and that bullshit.
But it feel good.
It feel good.
It feel good, so it tastes better. You know what I'm saying? Apply that to your life. You know what I'm saying? So don't just give people things that feel good. You know what I'm saying? And that makes them think it tastes better. Be the complete package. Make them feel good and give them quality to taste at the same time. So that's one thing that I practice in my personal life. I had to practice getting out of my shell, practice being who I am, and practice something simple as body language. You know what I'm saying? Like growing up in the hood, you don't really learn to have much personality because everything is, you gotta be hard. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be tough. You can't laugh too long.
What is it J. Cole
Motherfuckers
said? He said, hood niggas are the biggest frauds.
Yeah.
Always gotta show that they acting hard.
Right. And you raised like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to show too much emotion. Emotion means you weak. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do these kind of things. So you in this mode, you know what I'm saying, this soldier mode, and that's how most people is raised in the hood. Even the Wall Street Trapper, he was like, he had to change his approach, you know, coming from New Orleans. He was like, when he's seen another black man, and you look at each other too long, it automatically concludes that it's a problem. So I gotta be like, yo, what's good? What you looking at? What's good? We got a problem? He said he changed that to when he seen another black man and they caught eye contact for a certain period of time, he had to change that energy to what's good? You got a problem to what's up, King? Change the entire dynamic of the situation just based on not being stubborn but practicing different tactics, you know what I'm saying, on body language and approach. So, you know what I'm saying, that's pretty much what I got on it. We tapped into relationships, parenting, crafting, business.
Business, yeah. Well, like, shoot, that's pretty much every category I just already mentioned. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you'll pass up like already the opportunities. Like, yeah, you definitely pass up on opportunities being stubborn and being arrogant. It's people that, I'm gonna tell y'all some real stuff, man. It's a person told me one time, he said, you'll be amazed at a job, the people they want to promote, but they realize they never can.
Damn.
They'd be like, look at his work ethics. Look at the way he can move people.
But I'm gonna keep him right there.
But he gotta stay right there. We can't work with
And then you find somebody with lower work ethic, everything,
ethic.
But they got a better presentation.
But they got a better presentation. They know how to say yes sir, no sir. And that's another thing. Like, we got to a stage where we're adults now. Y'all still don't have y'all still addressing people as equals. Like, it's still power just saying yes sir, no sir.
Man,
I keep saying that yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, until they direct me and say, hey, look, you ain't got to say that. If they don't never say that, I still say that regardless. It's just, you don't understand the power into it, right? It's like that humility that we talk about, you know, that respect level. And that's job, like I said, that's opportunities y'all miss at your own damn job. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's that quick. Like, people be like, man, do you see how he talks to people? Yeah. But do you see what the fuck he can't listen? Y'all don't understand like how powerful it is. That's why, and even outside, like even in your own business, right? You know, I hear this saying all the time, like I always give black, like people be like, yeah, I give black businesses, second and third chances because they're black businesses. And no disrespect for this is coming from me. I don't care about none of that. I'm gonna be honest, because majority of people who start a business come from being inside a business, so you already know how to conduct yourself. But it's always like, hey, okay, so since they're branching off, let's give them time. Y'all those sometimes y'all miss out on growing y'all businesses by not addressing y'all customers the right way.
Facts.
Point blank period. I remember
Facts.
I went with I ain't gonna mention your name, man. I know you do. I remember one of my home dudes. He was like, yeah, man, I'm looking for one of these businesses that's black to do a catering event for my business. I said, all right, we went to a couple places, and he said, man, what the he was just like, man, what is going on with this? He was so like disappointed. He just went ordered and got Chick-fil-A catering. And y'all don't understand, like, when you finally get a business to contact you and you show up to that environment, you don't think people there is like, hey, how much y'all charge for catering events? You got a chance to grow your business by just showing up to that business. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you'll pass up on opportunities by being arrogant and by being stubborn. It's all there. Just show the humility. Like it's times where I didn't like increase our chances, whether it was employment wise or business wise for myself, where if somebody messes up, I'll come clean it up. And that's another thing you gotta also have. Don't be so stubborn and powerful when somebody else mess up, where you agree with them, like, yeah, man, that's how it is. I'm looking at it like, how can I clean up? So even as we're discussing right now, another topic be for me in the future is going to be, how would I say this? How to be more than yourself, right? If being yourself would have been like, nah, fuck them, you need to be more than yourself and go help save somebody sometimes. You got to always look at situations like that. I have those situations all the time that happen to me when I'm talking with people, and like I said, the inner me and the outer me, whatever they want to call it. The me at the present moment be like, man, fuck that person. But then the other me that's instilled in me, that I'm bringing into the flesh, like your final form. That's why I always talk about act as if you was already there. What would you do like in your final form? So to clean up certain scenarios to keep energy flowing within that area, right? Like one apple spoils a bunch. That's true. So one person's negative actions can disperse can break up that whole energy, right? That's why when I used to work at Grooves at one point in time, a fight break out, damn near the whole club is empty. Nobody wants to be around that no more.
Yep.
To a point where it's like a fight break out, you might have.
Who the fuck fights at Grooves?
No. Bro, people fight, period, bro. Hey, it don't matter how old they are, man. To a point where if a fight break out, you might have a manager come in and be like, all right, guys, we're sorry for that, but look, guess what? Free shots for the next 30 seconds, man. Y'all better get there. And then they're like, oh, man, we got the shot.
Free shots, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Free shots over real shots.
It's ways you create the momentum back to kill off the negative energy that you have to be able to get to.
Man, you have to concentrate.
That's a constant creative energy. Yeah.
Man, one thing I want to talk about before we wrap this up, going back to business, fucking analytics, right? Analytics, statistics, those fall into the same category. People would run a business and be so locked in on how they would like to see the business grow instead of studying the analytics. The analytics is telling you, yo, you got a demographic here. Okay, of course you want to cater to the demographic that's, supporting you. But the weaker demographics, how do we bring those analytics up? That's how businesses function properly at the highest level. Because they're not just focusing on their stubbornness, right? I wanted to promote or focus on these particular demographics, and the other ones suck. So the stubbornness goes out the way and the ego, because you're going to take the right approaches to get your weakest analytics up to a strong point. So I'm saying you have people that like to just stay in a lane, and then you know what I'm saying? Like, look at Jay-Z. Jay-Z can exist through multiple time periods of music because he's constantly adjusting to the times.
Definitely.
Of course, he could be one of these rappers that's still rapping like it's the 90s, talking about knowledge, power, and wisdom, and his shit wouldn't sell. But since he can connect with the times, make adjustments, and not be stubborn, and not put his ego into play, you know what I'm saying? He can thrive because he knows how to adjust to the time periods. J. Cole said a famous thing to me. He was like, I studied the fans, I studied their hearts. You know what I'm saying? You have rappers saying that you can't really be a successful rapper if you're not in the club. 50's even said it. I went to the club to see.
What are they listening to?
What are they listening to?
I was
what
just about to talk about 50. What he said. He set up a whole page to where he can adjust his sounds according to his fans, his demographics. So he will put out a song, and he said like every 10 minutes he'll refresh it and read the comments, and he'll be like, "Oh man, this is too soft. Man, I expected something different." Then the next day he released something like, "Oh man, he back. That's that shit, nigga. That's it." And like,
right.
And he understood like from his sales point from going from 14 million. Get Rich Die Trying to the Massacre, 11.3 million. On down, he said, look, the crowd is changing. Yeah. I need the exit ticket.
Right.
Because he understood, like, hey, what he's doing is not going to last forever. But see what Jay-Z and Nas are doing, they're adjusting to every demographics and types. So that's why they can still compete in their 50s and 60s on music alone. Even E40. And that's what keeps them up to date by paying attention to what's the sound, what's the move, how can they change it up, stuff like that. Come on, you had one of the biggest ones they used to talk about. They used to talk about Ja Rule stole DMX flow and wore Tupac clothes. So look at that combination he had. So you got to be able to, you know what I'm saying, go with the times in order to stay relevant. That's just like how people, and then another thing you want to look at, the way somebody's going to address you according to appearance is also how well they, you know, take you serious. 50 was talking about, he said appearance is everything. He said there was a difference between when he met Jay Master Jay and he pulled up in a Benz versus if he pulled up in a hoopty, right? So he said, imagine a guy, you're in a hoopty and a dude pulls up in a Ferrari. A dude, Ferrari might be catching on fire and you're trying to wave him down, he gonna look at you and turn the other way. Versus if you pull up in the same amount of luxury car, he's gonna acknowledge you and roll down the window and you'll tell him, hey, your car's on fire, and you know, so that situation be handled. It's according to how you dress, how you want to present it. Like my homeboy said, he said I dress how I want to be addressed, and I was like, okay, I fucks with that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm casual most of the time, because we talk to a very relaxed type of demographic at the same time. But if you ever meet me out in person, I have this rule. X just learned about it. I said I'm always going to present myself in some boots and something that's presentable before I wear sneakers.
Boots when I first meet a person.
I'm always going to wear boots.
He had the boots on. He had a whole little dance and shit he was doing with the boots.
I look, man. I look, man. Look, when I be telling I had to tell my little homie Peyton. I said, bro, like for every 3 pairs of sneakers you have, buy a pair of boots. You'll go from cute to sexy just in some fucking boots sometimes, bro. It's like a different. Unless the woman is a sneakerhead, that's a whole different thing.
All right, one of my last points, man. I'm gonna just read something to y'all.
No, man, we're tired.
It says. Chick-fil-A headquarters was in College Park, Georgia. Chick-fil-A was originally founded as Dwarf Grill in 1946, changing the name to Dwarf House into a rebranding as Chick-fil-A in 1967.
Adjusting with time.
Company been open since the 40s, went through a rebranding process, changed their name in the 60s, and guess what? We eating it in Houston area, Texas. And this started within the 2000s era. I just wanted you to see that stubbornness and ego couldn't have been within that business growth, because they rebranded. They've been popping, they've been going down since the 60s, the 40s originally, but the 60s after rebranding. But they just now popping into what they are now within the 2000s. Look at that hustle. That's a lot of hustle. That's a lot of time. But now people just think of Chick-fil-A as to what it is today. See, people see successful businesses and they never look at the origin. How long has this business actually been running? Did they rebrand? Did they change the whole scenario? How did they leave one city, one state, and begin to open up in other states? We don't look at that. We just want to look at the end result. So check your ego and your stubbornness and actually get down in reality. In reality, everything is about time. You will succeed at what you invest your time into. Ain't no microwave results within the real world. That's all I got, man. You got the outro music?
Yeah, man. My fault, man. I got the outro music. We appreciate y'all tuning into the channel, man. Hey, look, man. We almost at 100 subscribers.
We need
man.
one more.
Hey, we need one more, man. Hey, stop playing with me.
Look out for you,
Hey,
boy,
look, man. Stop playing with me, yo. Hey, we almost there, man. Just one more subscribe, man. We've been doing this for a year, like I said. And if you pay attention, we have a long list of content for a year, but we understand this might take 2 to 3. We don't care. We're just gonna keep doing it.
Right.
So like, subscribe, comment, give us a situation where where you experience an arrogant time or a stubborn time, and make it relatable to the topic. And that's pretty much it, man. Y'all be blessed. Have a good what's today's date? Monday, May 17th.
Yeah.
And have a great night. Peace.
Right on.
Alright. Minus the bullshit.